In this final part of our AFL Insight series, we're going to create a forecast entry model using two new data loads. These are the 2014 fixtures and a summary of recent performance. Firstly, ensure that you're using the correct model to start with, AFL Part 4 Start. We'll save this as a new work in progress name. The first task we're going to do is to create a new tab to put our forecast entry form on. So at the bottom here, you'll find an icon to say Create New Tab. Simply click on that and a new tab will be created. We're now going to import the fixtures for 2014. Go to the Get Data menu, click on Import Data. Click on the Browse button and browse the file called aflfixtures.csv. Here we can see a preview of our data, which is for year 2014. We can see all the matches. Over on the left hand side we can see the usage for each column. We're going to create ground, played on and home and away. We're going to ensure that these are measures. Once you've done that, click on the Import button in the bottom right hand corner. We're now presented with a default cross-tab chart. No data in here at the moment because it's just purely a fixture list. We now need to create a new measure and to delete one. So we right click on the bar at the top, click on Edit Dimension, I'm going to highlight Count and we're going to delete that because it's not required. We now need to add a new measure called Result. This will enable us to enter our data for the results. We're going to click on Format and we're going to format that as text. Accept the warning. When we enter our data, we only want the users to be able to select from a fixed list, win, lose or draw. So right click on the top bar, click Pick List and then type in the word static, because it's a static list, :W, :D, :L, :D. This will produce a list where you can only choose those three letters. Click on Close, and if we click in the result cell, we can see we only have a choice of those three. We can now change our crosstab layout for forecast entry. First of all, let's turn off the chart. I'll change the display to show crosstab only. We want to have round as our rows, so we drag and drop round on the top, over the top of years. We choose 2014 as the current year. We drop opponent next to round so we can see the individual opponents for each of the round. For some strange reason, my model is looking at Carlton, so I need to change that back to Hawthorn. Finally, to see the fixtures, we need to suppress the 0 rows. Click on the option, 0 rows, and we can now see the fixtures for Hawthorn for 2014 by round, at which ground and on which day, and whether the match is home and away. Before we enter a forecast, it will be good to know about past performance of our team. We could use the analysis that we carried out in parts 1 and 2 to help here, but this time we're going to load in some additional measures into our cube that will give us a snapshot of recent performance between the teams. Navigate back to the content pane on the right hand side, right click on the AFL Fixtures cube, and here we're going to select Import into the cube. Here I've got the import wizard again that we saw earlier. We're going to browse for the file called aflform.csv. It's automatically selected the measures for us, so we don't need to do anything else. Click on Import. There are some warnings. Click on OK just to view those warnings. That's fine, it's just telling us it's updating a cube that already exists. Click on Import again, and our new data will be loaded. We need to tidy up our fixture list again because we've now got total of round and total of opponents showing. To do that, we right click on the top bar, select show totals and say don't show totals. Do the same with the opponent, don't show totals. So now back to our fixture list for Hawthorn for 2014. And we've got a series of statistics. Number of times the teams have played in the last 5 years, how many matches were won and how many were lost. So we're going to create a win percentage based on this data. So we highlight number of matches played and won, right click, go calculate, 1 divided by played, give it a name of win percentage. We can then right click, format the measure as a percentage with 1 decimal place. We've now finished our forecast entry form. We can now go down the result column and selecting win, lose or draw depending on how we think the team's going to perform in those particular rounds. And obviously for 2014 I'm predicting that Hawthorn will finally beat Geelong in the home and away series. Once we've finished our changes, we click on the tick at the top. This commits the data and turns the data from blue to black.